One of the things I used to struggle with the most ever since I was a little kid, I couldn't find a hobby for myself. Listen, when I was younger, all it took me was 2 weeks to quit the one thing that I used to think was like my dream job. Like, I would start doing a certain activity, and the first few days I would be fucking in love with it. I would be in love with it. That would be the one thing I would be thinking about. I would obsess over that thing. But 2 weeks later, I've already quit. It happened to me all the time, with no matter what. And trust me, even though I'm just a 16-year-old kid, I've tried so many fucking things. It's actually like a little bit crazy. But anyway, as time goes on, there was one hobby in particular that I finally stuck with. That thing was basketball. And basketball was the one thing that truly allowed me to get into that state of mind, I guess you can call it. See, athletes call this state the zone. The zone is when all of that brain fog in your head finally shuts the fuck up and you're finally able to do the things that you want to do, right? It's commonly known as flow state, and I'm pretty sure you've heard of it before, but essentially, I remember one of the first times experiencing flow state on the basketball court, and it was such an amazing feeling. Like, it was so new to me. I can't come up with a better word for this. It was so new to me. Like, I've never experienced something like this before, where something is so fun to me that all of that brain fog I've had in my head from scrolling on TikTok and other social media, it was all finally gone. So I kept pursuing basketball until there was a point in time where my younger cousins, right? Because I come from a pretty big family. I don't have any siblings, but I'm the oldest cousin. So essentially, all the younger cousins always wanted to do the shit that I wanted to do. If I started skateboarding, they immediately started skateboarding too. If I started basketball, they immediately started playing basketball too. So there was a point in time where, well, they wanted to learn how to play ball. So I became a bigger brother to them, and I started teaching them the sport. And I noticed something very interesting. When I was speaking to them, when I was teaching them shit, I was also into flow state. And matter of fact, that flow state was like 20 times like more intense. Now, what do I mean more intense? It was easier for me to get into a flow state when I was talking to them than when I was playing on the basketball court. But let's ignore that for now. Time goes on, and suddenly my cousins actually learn how to play the game. They know a little bit, right? So we're on the court together, we're playing and stuff. I remember I was playing 1v1 with one of them. And the score was 4-4, right? And we agreed to play till 5 points, right? So it's intense. He had the ball, and suddenly he's driving towards the basket. So, well, I immediately chase after him. I'm trying to play I'm trying to play defense. I'm trying to defend the court, right? Suddenly, a disaster struck. As he was running towards the basket, he immediately stopped. And my ankles, brother, did a whole fucking 90-degree turn. I twisted literally the other way, and I fell down so fucking hard. And this was also a new, unique experience to me, because I've never had my ankles twisted in my life. I've never took an ankle breaker, especially from somebody who's theoretically way worse than me. But turns out I was wrong, and of course he scored a point, by the way, so it was a very embarrassing thing to see, because all of my other cousins saw that, right? So yeah, imagine you're like the bigger brother, and suddenly like the younger sibling beats you. That's a little bit embarrassing, isn't it? So I came back home with this like terrible mindset. You know, I got all upset and shit. I was thinking to myself, why did I let this happen? How did he do this? How did he do this anyway? And like, and suddenly I realized something. Wait, am I not literally his teacher? Like, am I not the only person who's literally the person? I was the person that taught him how to play the sport. I brought that motherfucker from not knowing how to dribble the ball properly to twisting ankles. Fucking ankle breaking. Like, from that point on, he went on to be like a crazy point guard. He's twisting everybody's ankles now. I'm a little bit scared to play him, if I'm being honest with you. But the point of all of this is, it was at that point where I realized just how good I am at fucking teaching people. Like, think about it again. I brought him from not knowing how to dribble the ball properly to twisting people's ankles. So I started to really dial in, started to think deeply about how I've developed this. I really did a lot of like, I looked a lot at my past and how did I even became the way I am? And suddenly I realized 99% of the things that I used to do always came down to teaching. Same thing with the gym, right? The gym is like my number two thing currently because I've been lifting for over a year now. I've built a pretty nice physique. And once I got to a point where I got pretty big, people started to ask me for advice. Suddenly, I couldn't walk into the gym without people asking me, bro, how did you build this V-tape? Or how do I grow my biceps? So how long have you been lifting for? And that allowed me to, well, do an activity which completely disables all of that noise in my head. And I can finally focus on doing that thing. And this was at that point where I realized like that teaching is the thing. It was at that point in time where I realized teaching is the one fucking thing that I should focus on in my life. This is my purpose, as people call it. And you've probably been struggling with this a lot, right? Listen, I still have like these tendencies from beforehand where as soon as shit doesn't go my way, I immediately start to consider quitting. This is like a very, very bad habit I've developed over the past few years, but I'm working on it, right? But even if you find that one thing that truly brings you the pleasure, that you know, if you truly were to work on this really fucking hard, you would achieve success. But there's still gonna be moments where you will have a shit ton of doubt. But okay, for those of you who still have zero clue what you want to do with your fucking life, okay? Essentially, all I want you to do right now, look at all of the hobbies you have. Look at all of the small little things that you're into. Now, ignore all the like instant gratification stuff out of the way. So throw out fucking drugs, weed, video games, smoking, all that shit, right? These are the obvious ones. Throw all that stuff out of the way. Take all the stuff that are like your actually healthy hobbies. Look at the stuff that you are into. Look at this. Look at your favorite subjects at school. Most of these things, they will come down to that one thing. And once you're able to find that one thing, brother, a life becomes 10 times easier. I promise you, like, you don't need to focus on money. You don't need to focus on girls. As long as your main priority is this, everything will come alongside it. And a lot of you will fucking disagree with me on this. But listen, I've experienced this myself. And this channel that you're watching right fucking now, it is the perfect example of this. Listen, just a couple of days ago, I once again had like these thoughts of, oh, I should just delete this whole fucking channel. I'm getting like 4 views per video. Suddenly, I was like, man, fuck all that. I'm just going to make a video that it's not like a algorithm based. I just wanted to make a video where I'm just talking about a win that I had recently. And 300 views in a snap. Brother, I know this sounds corny as fuck, and it's not the type of advice you expected from this video, but once you figure out this, the rest doesn't fucking matter. The rest doesn't fucking matter at all, man. As long as this is in the, as long as you're able to find this, the rest will come alongside it. You heard this like corny ass fucking quote on YouTube already. If you chase for the butterfly will fly away from you. But if you build a beautiful garden, butterflies will come to you. Now, most people use this as an example with women, but this actually works very well with life as a whole. The more you try to chase all these like materialistic things, the more you try to chase views on your YouTube channel, the more you try to chase money, the more you try to chase girls, the more these things will run away from you, man. But when you finally take a look at what's really inside you, when you start to prioritize what's here and not in the fucking outside world, that's when all these other things, they will come alongside it. That's when you get to that point in time where you won't even care about those things down there because you're so focused on this. Now, of course, you don't have to be like into religion to believe all this. Like, this doesn't even have to do anything with religion. You can try this right fucking now, and I can guarantee you, I can fucking assure you, like 100% this will work for you. As soon as you find that one fucking thing and you make it your 100% priority, your life as a whole will become 100 times better. But some of you are still sitting in a corner thinking to themselves, but I still don't know how to find my purpose. Listen, here comes another very basic advice that you've probably been skipping. But I'm going to tell you this anyway, because if you've been actually doing this, you wouldn't have this problem in the first place. All I want you to fucking do, grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, and sit down and write for hours. Hours. Not fucking 20-minute, one-page journal. No. If you want to actually answer this goddamn question, you need to sit down for hours. It took me days. Days, if not fucking weeks, to figure out what I actually want to fucking do with my life. And I still hesitate. I still have these points in time where I feel like fucking quitting. Of course I fucking do. But you need to actually sit down and think about what you actually want to achieve. Because for most of the day, you're too busy in your little brain fog. You've already corrupted yourself with so much fucking TikTok, but by the time you try to actually sit down and focus on something, you fucking can't. You struggle with focusing on anything. The only time you can actually focus on something. This is like the one activity that allows pretty much everybody to get into a flow state. You write down, you sit down and you write down everything. Every single fucking word your mind produces. You're thought vomiting on a piece of paper. Literally. And as I said, I don't want this to be a 5-minute, one-page journal. I want to discover X. I feel like doing this. This is my purpose. Thank you. Bye-bye. No. You need to actually take some time to figure this out. Because I don't think you realize the importance of your fucking purpose. If you have a direction where you want to go, it's like you put stuff into your car. You start like putting everything into the bagage of the car. But then you don't know how to drive. How the fuck are you going to move these things to a certain direction, right? If you don't know how to move the fucking car. You first need to learn how to drive the fucking car so you can move from one place to another. Stop focusing on what's inside the fucking car. You need to learn how to move the fucking car first. So how about you actually stop bullshitting, shut the fuck up for once in your life, and sit down and actually fucking consider, actually start fucking thinking about your damn life choices. Man, I know it sounds kind of annoying to have a 16-year-old fucking sound like baby Andrew Tate, but I'm being like dead ass serious right now. If you don't actually sit down for hours on end and consider this, you start thinking about this, you're not gonna get fucking anywhere. Do you remember that one time where you couldn't fall asleep and you just laid in your bed for fucking hours because you couldn't fall asleep and your mind was coming up with all of these different thoughts? Yeah. This is very similar to what you do when you're fucking journaling. You're just fucking printing. You're thought vomiting. You're thought vomiting on a piece of paper. Imagine that all of these thoughts you have in your little brain, you're just spilling them all out of your mouth. And as I said, it's not going to come in a day. It's not going to come in a week. It's not going to come in a month for most of you. It didn't for me. And I'm a human just like you, right? So you need to be very patient. You need to try hard. You need to try really fucking hard if you want to find out who you actually are. Because most of you quit too early. Most of you quit too early. Most of you don't want to do these like little teeny weeny self-improvement habits everybody's talking about. Oh, meditation is gay. Journaling is gay. This is stupid. This is that stupid. But everybody wants to go to the gym. The gym is like the number one thing people consider when they hop on self-improvement. This is a random rant that I'm going on. I should probably end this video by now, but most of you, you all focus. This is me too. I'm myself included. All of us focus on the physical realm. All we fucking care about is the things we touch. All we care about is fucking if the chair glows or not, if the keyboard has LEDs in it or not, if the microphone sounds good enough. Brother, these things don't matter in the long term. They really fucking don't. You really don't need the next pair of fucking sneakers. And this is coming from a guy who's been wearing Jordans too. Stop focusing on the materialistic things. Now, going to the gym is amazing. Doing all of this self-improvement stuff, it's absolutely fucking amazing. But if you don't have your fucking priorities right, you're not gonna make any success with these. My mental health has been at its peak low only when my priorities were fucked up. It was only when I was making videos just to chase the views, just to increase my sub count. It was always when I was over-focusing on something that doesn't actually fucking matter. Listen, without this, you don't have this. Your mind is what controls your body. Without what's on the inside, you can't have anything on the outside. So if you don't get what's up here straight, if you don't figure that shit out, you won't be able to fucking control the body, I guess. If your brain doesn't work, you can't control your body. Okay, that was actually a pretty dumb analogy. Fuck, you get the idea, right? Yeah. I'm not gonna waste more of your time because your attention span's probably been pretty fucked up and you've remembered barely 20% of the video. So to summarize, you should actually take some time to focus on your fucking life and think of the direction where it's actually going. And the way you do that, paper, this pen, right? Fuck, I actually grabbed my habit tracker. I don't know why. I didn't have any other piece of paper on me. But yeah, fuck it. That's all I have to say for this video. If you want to talk to me directly, join the Discord. If you want to become blessed with knowledge, you can join the link in the description. That's all I had to say for this video. I really hope you actually take some fucking action with your life. Yep, I'll see you in the next one.